Take two.
All right, let's fucking go, everybody.
Let's fucking go, boys.
Yeah, we got some good topics for you today.
We
Okay?
sure fucking do.
We don't talk about the NFL at all.
We don't, but it ironically fits somehow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
better than Saul Goodman and his lawyery ways.
And Tuco and Mike or whatever his name is. Have you actually watched the show?
no,
Okay. well,
never.
Another layer of irony.
Yeah, I've seen Breaking Bad, but you know,
Well, I mean, who hasn't?
a lot of people are like, I don't know, it's just drugs. I'm like, yeah, I had the same thing. I don't.
It's
I
a
don't
little,
like.
It's a little too dark.
It's pretty
you know?
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the main. I just don't. What would be the other point? Like, I hate the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, I love him. I don't know if anyone really dislikes him. I mean, like,
That's true.
you know how people are like all obsessed with Keanu Reeves. Like,
For
I
whatever
don't
reason.
like his acting. He's
I-
a good person.
I
but,
think
like,
he's an
acting
angelic
sucks.
man, but he's a boring fucking guy on the screen.
Yeah.
That's like his energy.
Dude. Yeah. I don't think him and John Wick was a.
He's
good
one
idea.
brain cell away from Tina Eat the Food.
You're not wrong there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about shit today while we're sipping on Ninkasi's.
We're having a poop story day.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So what was yours? Because mine's like, typical. You've got the big like, you go see Bruno with your dad and walk out, and I'm like, well, there was a sex scene and we stayed
Yeah, that's true. It was a little one-sided.
a little bit.
I think you're gonna have a better story than me this time. I have. It's brief, albeit. Pun intended, because I was wearing briefs.
Oh no.
Yeah, which is really bad because it creates sort of like a sealed barrier. It's like a Ziploc. It's the Ziploc bag of underwear.
Yeah.
Briefs. Yeah.
I'm surprised you say you were wearing briefs. I thought you were a boxer's guy.
I am. I've gone through the motions. You
As
kind of
well.
have to. You have. So I've always been a boxer's guy, but the final evolution that I've reached is boxer briefs, where you kind of are a little bit adult.
Yeah.
But you still have a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah. I feel like Timothy Chalamet when I'm in my boxer briefs.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. Got my Calvins on.
Yeah.
I feel sexy.
Well,
like
yeah, that's if you're basically wearing a cup, it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to not feel good. It's
Right.
like, wow, look at the bulge. It's like it's all the underwear, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There's actually no dick.
Like a Ken doll, my
He's
friend.
trans. Yeah. From way downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's with this poop? Give me the poop.
I'll give you it's more, what makes it more interesting is just sort of the context of it happening. It's actually pretty tame, but so I was doing, which is basically my first job, which is Instacart.
Yeah.
I have done shitty little gigs that like teenagers do where they're like, yeah, I was volunteering at the, for like
I was a
night.
bag boy.
Yeah, I made
for the morgue.
Right. I was a dishwasher for 2 months and then I had to go back to school.
Yeah,
This was like, okay, this is something I can do in between like school basically. And it was a hot summer's day, baby.
Oh.
This was a hot summer's day.
What was the temp? 90?
Yeah, I mean it was somewhere up there, maybe
Yeah.
hotter. And I was in my Honda CRV which had no AC.
Oh, excellent.
And it was coated in dog hair.
Ooh.
So it was hot, dog hairy, and I was doing Instacart.
Oh.
Luckily I had already delivered the payload.
Right.
And I don't mean the shit yet. That has yet to happen. But I finished a delivery and I was en route to the next one.
Right.
And I think I had some coffee with cow milk. We've talked
Yeah,
about
right,
how
right,
I
right.
like cow's milk,
Yeah.
not oat milk. This
Yeah.
is pure American,
Okay.
born and
I
bred.
mean, maybe that's where we start,
And really just
milk.
I gambled. I gambled on one. I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be an eker. It turned out to be a squirter.
Yeah.
And
So you felt like a force down there? Like there was
there was a little momentum.
Oh.
There was a little,
Right.
There was a flag on the play.
I thought
So
maybe it
there,
was just a
that NFL theme song,
mean, hey.
it's all coming together.
Yeah. Yeah, the kicker made a field goal
That's
in
right.
that case.
And the end zone was the Brown zone.
Jesus Christ.
No, but so the thing that was just more gnarly about that more than anything, because I would just, normally I would have just gone home, but I was
Yeah.
like, I need to make money. So
Yeah.
I was like, what do I do? And
No.
like, the panic set in.
This is my whole
Hold on.
spiel on it.
Okay, if you finish that thought,
Is if you poop your pants,
Yeah.
no matter what you're doing, you go home.
you go home.
I go home.
I may as well have, but I didn't just sit in it.
Okay.
I was like, I need to get this off me now because it's
Yeah.
hot and there's dog hair and it's
Oh
95
yeah,
degrees.
true. No AC in the fucking.
No
you sit
AC.
down in the car after
Nope.
you.
And I was in a really weird part of town. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's I don't know how do you describe that area by the spaghetti factory that's like
Like
downtown?
the South Waterfront.
South Waterfront, you know,
Yeah.
I was like
It's
under the
become-
gondola with shit in my ass.
Yeah, it's become really bougie, by the way. Like,
Bad and bougie.
yeah.
Mm.
So,
Well, I don't think it was ever like cheap. I mean, it's always been kind of like a glitzy.
yeah, there's a lot of hospital workers, you know. A lot
Yeah,
of-
I could see
a
that.
lot of money over there.
That's
Yeah.
fair. But
So,
anyways, I just want to describe to you. So have you seen Ace Ventura?
Pet Detective?
Yeah. The one where he's in Africa?
Yeah.
He's in the rhino.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's
so like
there's
that.
yeah, it was kind of like that. And there's that gross scene where he's like peeling off his underwear with his legs in the air. So it wasn't like that exactly. But I went to the back seat and I did that like awkward like shimmy to remove
no.
it, and I just threw it out the.
Did you put your legs up in the air, kind of like a baby? Like,
No, see, that's what I'm saying. I didn't do that. It was more like I just have to get it off me, and I don't want it to touch my legs, so I like
Yeah.
contained it and then tossed it out the window.
you got lucky with
Yeah.
containing it, because I feel like if I was in the standing position and I poop myself, it's going to go straight down my leg.
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be
Yeah.
enough, you know, in between
Right.
fabric to contain it.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. As I said, I go home. I literally just,
I think that's
this is the end of my day.
That's the responsible thing to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in my case, my story, you know, I might have had a little poop in my pants after this, but so it's probably
We're all
not-
adults here.
We're all adults here. It's probably 10th or 11th grade. I was in my, you know, if we can't find alcohol or weed, we destroy things phase. You know,
Yeah, I
you're
can
just
relate,
a
yeah.
delinquent.
Yeah.
And in this case, the local elementary school that was next to my house, it had a porta potty with, you know, just a regular porta potty. It got that little urinal inside the porta potty.
Sure. The
And
little
I-
side companion.
Yeah, and we had been skateboarding all day, and my friend was like, "What if you pooped in the urinal?" Because we had seen the South Park
That's a
episode.
strong move.
And I was like, I mean, it's entirely possible
Right.
that I could be pooping in a urinal
I think we could do it. Yeah.
in about 30 seconds.
This is
So
an
like,
in-and-out operation.
so you know, it was a little logistically challenging to
Yeah.
like get, you know, back your ass up into the urinal in there, and it's
Yeah.
hot. It was like a hot summer day, you know. Like I think honestly, there might have been kids like playing baseball like
Oh,
in the
no.
field adjacent to the porta
You're
potty.
deep in enemy territory.
Yeah, and
Enemy territory.
you know, up to that point, I had not smelled poop outside of a toilet, really.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the experience.
Because the
of that.
watering down effect is
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah. And there was no water in the urinal.
No.
And so when I dropped that, and it was a proper one, you know, it wasn't just a.
Predator missile.
Yeah. It was a JDAM.
Yeah.
You know, one of those
An
2,000 pound.
Azerbaijan. All right.
Okay. When I dropped it, it was way more stinky and way more like, oh, fuck, I destroyed that.
Yeah.
Like, just, and like, you know, it's not going anywhere. It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
So we leave. I like pull up my pants. I like, you know, pull up my
What are
pants.
you gonna do? Stay and sign autographs?
I mean,
Like,
I don't. I mean, maybe a kid wants to fucking say hi.
do a little Queen golf wave.
Toodaloo. But no, so we like ran down to Plaid Pantry and we like got our snacks and stuff, and we're like, all right, whatever. So like 2 hours later, we go back and they have chained it up with like the police tape, you know, like the caution tape
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's a crime scene.
I don't know who did it. Maybe a policeman came by. Maybe one of the, you know,
Yeah.
baseball parents stepped in.
Good.
But they were like, absolutely not. No one can go in there.
Yeah.
Like it was a war zone.
Well, I mean, it just makes you feel bad for all the janitors that had to deal with that on like a daily basis in elementary schools.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, I used to see them all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the poor thing about that porta potty in particular was they had moved it from closer to the school to farther away from the school because a kid had put a stick, like a giant tree branch, through the entirety of the porta potty and lit it on fire.
Oh wow!
And
That's
just-
very
Burned that fucker down.
industrious. of them. Yeah.
First of all, it must be difficult to get a tree branch through.
Yeah, the
a porta
strength
potty.
alone.
I don't know how many. I assume kids did that, but I mean,
I can tell you, I've never seen that one.
and then to light it on fire,
Yeah.
and it's on school grounds. It's next to
That's
the building.
black belt.
I mean,
You two should.
I burned a lot of stuff. I pooped in some urinals.
Yeah.
I broke things. I tipped over porta potties in my day.
Yeah.
I never set one on fire with a branch.
Yeah,
That's
that's pretty. Yeah,
Yeah.
it combines the two elements of child degeneracy, which
Yeah.
is arson and
yeah.
sharts.
Well,
yeah.
I was such a degenerate in my neighborhood that a cop pulled me over while I was walking. I was just like on school grounds or something, and I was just walking across the field.
Hey, you fit the description of a shit fire starter over here.
Hey, did someone pooped in the urinal?
Hey,
And
listen
then-
here. I'm doing an investigation.
Yeah. And in my case, he was like, someone set fire to a dumpster.
Do you know anything about that?
And I was like, no. He's like, well, you look like him. Turns out it was my buddy that I hadn't been hanging out with him or anything. It was just a friend of mine, Michael.
He's like, so you wouldn't mind if I smell jazz?
Weird, because you smell like Doki.
If
No.
you've got nothing to lie about, you let me smell the crime scene.
But like this, I don't even know where the dumpster was in relation to like the
Right.
place I was at. He was just like, "There's a dumpster on fire. It's probably your fault." Like
Right.
you know, and like months later, I asked around like the school, like my other delinquent friends, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, that was me." I was like, "Oh yeah, I got like harassed for like an
Yeah.
hour by the
Yeah.
cops," and he's like, "Yeah, my bad. I just had a
Sorry,
dumpster on fire
dude.
that afternoon."
Yeah.
it's like okay, neat.
I mean, can you really blame him? You know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
guess
It's
not.
just unfortunate. If anything, you just blame the cop for suspecting an unsuspecting child.
Yeah, it was one of the situations.
Although you
like,
did shit in a urinal, so your hands aren't completely clean of diarrhea.
not at all.
Well, wait. So there it is. Is it solid or what are we talking here?
No, it was pretty liquidy actually. It was
Oh, well,
like,
that's
kind
good.
of
That's good
it
because
was-
solid is disrespectful.
well, I didn't take a good look. I just kind of knew what was in there by the smell.
Like, oh god, I'm not going to look at it. But
And I
someone
feel like
else will.
I felt like I didn't smell good after, so perhaps my
Right.
quick wipe wasn't enough. But
Probably
yeah,
not.
yeah, I got in a lot of trouble at that school. That was the same school that since it was right next to my house, the first time I ever drank. I had a-
Hopefully from that same urinal. It was so strong.
Hey, it was sanitary. They had just cleaned it 2 days prior. No, my friend got some like 40s. Like his older brother got us some 40s,
Yeah.
and we were all drinking in like the field, of course. And cops pull up,
Yeah.
and we just ran to my house.
Sure.
There are like 10 of us, 20 pairs of shoes in my entryway, and my parents were like, "What the fuck?" And we're like, "Don't worry about it." And they're like, "All right." And we had left probably half of the 40s,
Yeah.
on the ground where they lay. And we came back and they were all there. All of them were still standing
Huh.
that we had left. And we're like, okay,
Cool.
okay. And we just grabbed them and
Resume.
we moved the party to a
Yeah.
secure location.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
Clearly
Over
the
and out.
school was not, ideal.
No. It's a good place to drop a turd, but not to drink 40s.
Yeah. Sometimes people would like get on the roof of the school. I got in trouble for that, even though
yeah.
I wasn't the one doing it. They were like,
That's a good
I
one.
was like skateboarding. They were like,
Yeah.
what are you up to? I'm like, I don't.
There was this like steel grate thing that had like a bunch of pipes in it, and for whatever reason, I thought it was super cool to just like open it and throw shit at it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was what my move. Or climb trees. I like to climb trees
Yeah,
too.
yeah, we climbed trees,
Trees
a
are
lot.
cool.
Yeah, I had a buddy that was like the tree climbing like master.
Yeah.
and he'd go way too high, and it was like, yeah, we're in like 6th grade.
He's like
I
one of
don't
those
know.
cats that the fire department has to rescue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I
All
like
right.
to do the monkey bars actually. That was definitely my move. And I didn't even do them like the normal way where you like methodically go from one end to the other. I would grab the side of it and swing back and forth as hard as I could and then flip off the back.
Oh, I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting any of that.
Well, not
actually.
like I did it like a front flip and stuck the landing. It was
Yeah.
more like I just went flying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a bar skipper. I'd skip a couple of the 2 or 3
yeah.
bars at a time. I was pretty agile.
Yeah.
I would every once in a while my mom would put me in like the really fluffy coats, wintertime,
Oh.
and I would just fall off of play structures like as a bit.
Yeah, because you're like,
Like-
I have armor +5.
Yeah, and I had like soft bones because I'm in like
Yeah.
4th grade, so I'm just like,
Yeah. I have
and
a
I'm just-
breastplate of the North Face.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
was
actually
great.
kind of a cool name, but
Exactly.
next topic.
Yeah.
What
So
do you got for me?
So have you ever had a friend that through gaming equipment like got so angry that they destroyed things?
No.
No?
No.
Like you were never like I mean, I grew up, we were all gamers growing up, like
No, I was friends with pussies.
wow.
If anything, they would cry
Oh.
and they'd like take it out on themselves, and then
no.
and then the mom would be like, "Well, it's not,
Oh.
maybe let him win."
See, I've always had the streak of having taller, bigger friends.
Yeah,
That
I was
have,
always
like,
the taller, bigger friend.
More testosterone. So they like
I don't know that I had more testosterone. Like I'm thinking like younger. Once I was
Right.
older, it was all pretty fair play.
right. Yeah, no, I always had a friend that had like an older brother that we'd like wrestle with. Like
Yeah.
he'd like beat it. He'd literally beat us.
Oh,
up.
well, my brother, I mean, he fucking whooped my ass at any video game, and he could still whip my ass today. So, like,
Right.
physically and video game. Well, it's maybe not video games. I could beat him in some, but
I don't know if I had an older brother. Like, if I had an older brother, I would want to be stronger than him, no matter what.
yeah. No,
Like-
we're just different body types.
Yeah.
I'm like the ectomorph, and he's like one of the, whatever the stoic fucking jumbo builds are.
Right.
So
it's like a gorilla.
He's immovable. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like my son, he's going to be taller than me in like no time. I have to be more athletic. I have to be faster. I
Yeah.
have to be stronger.
That's fair.
Like,
Because
if he-
otherwise, it's going to be an episode 2 situation, and you're going to have a bunch of kids running at you, and you'll have to
Yep.
kill them one by one.
that's what I'm saying.
But anyways,
I have to be prepared.
he'll bring
Anyway.
all of his friends, and yeah.
Yeah, no. So I had a friend, is the friend that his older brother like probably showed us porn for the first time. And,
Oh,
like,
there's
you
there's
know,
a story.
yeah. We just got up to no good. It was the same house that we got grounded to the garage.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
lit things on fire.
Right.
So we had like a big birthday party, and this one kid was like really good at baseball games, like MLB, fucking 2004.
That's such a big brother thing to be good at.
Right?
That's hilarious.
So this kid comes over and he's kicking our asses at MLB, and I'm like, dude, we should bet on this game. Like, if you beat him, you have to like do whatever, eat a sock, eat his dirt sweaty sock.
Yeah.
And he's like, ew, okay, fine, whatever. He's like, I can beat him, I can do it. He loses like, I don't know, 20-5.
How? He was winning.
I don't know.
The pressure of the bet. The pressure of the dirty sock.
He was so out of his mind about losing. He chucked the controller at this like brick fireplace he had.
Yeah.
Exploded. I mean,
Nice.
like, we couldn't play anymore.
Yeah,
Because
well, he
that was
screwed
one of the
that
two
pooch.
controllers.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh well, party's over. Like,
Right.
It's 8:30 p.m. We've got, we're kids. We're gonna stay up all night. And I'm like, oh.
One of the highlights from my childhood, like seeing someone rage out, was there was this really fucking great tradition at my old elementary school, where it was the 4th graders versus the 5th graders final day of school kickball event.
Oh no! Why would it
And-
put the like pretty disparate ages together?
We won 4th grade.
What?
And the captain of their team was like,
Fuck.
his mom was like, oh, sweetie. And I was just like smirking, like, yeah.
That's crazy.
It was great.
I wasn't good at sports. Like, I was a bad runner. Like, I couldn't do anything. Pull-ups. It was
That's great.
I had the record at school.
Yeah.
In elementary school for pull-ups, because
That's
I was
great.
like that perfect build of like
Yeah.
strong upper body, but like I was really short and like thin.
Yeah. Compact.
And then this fucking kid comes in, and he's probably 15 pounds lighter than me.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, he's like, the new kid in 3rd grade or something.
Yep.
And he pumps out like 15 pull-ups or something,
Yeah.
which, at the time is a lot.
That's still pretty good. Most people can't do one.
Yeah. Over the course of 10 minutes, I could do 15. No problem.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
for sure.
I-
I couldn't
who
do
knows?
15 in succession right now. There's no way.
Yeah, I think I could do 10.
I could maybe
10.
do 10.
Yeah.
Even then, I don't know. Like we're talking good form. I can't do that.
Perfect form, I could do 12.
That's okay.
But-
you got me beat on that one.
But still, this kid, and then he started doing the fucking. I was like, okay, well, I still got the sit-up record because I was really good at sit-ups for whatever reason.
Yep.
It was like 60 in a minute, and he was like 64, bitch.
Yeah.
64.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
That sucks
He got
when
me.
when they're just holding that. It's not even like that much greater of a difference, but they're holding it over you. And
Yeah,
like, I can do.
I couldn't possibly beat it. And then
I was always, because I was tall growing up.
Yeah.
Like I was I think I was the tallest kid in school in 5th grade, but in 4th grade it was a girl because girls get taller. Sooner.
yeah.
But I could always run fast and kick hard as shit because I got big legs.
Yeah.
So that was where I excelled. We would do like mile runs and shit, and I'd be like, I'm first. Hey, you
Damn.
want to race across the fucking schoolyard?
Yeah. I was a slow kid. I had a lot of fast food in me.
You were weighed down by the chalky milk.
I think I just had like bad respiratory system. Like I get gassed easy,
Sure.
And like I just wasn't that fast. I wasn't the slowest. There was a kid, he was my good friend, but if we're playing tag, I'm going for Aaron.
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay.
You got to
Okay.
survival of the fittest. You go for the weakest link.
Exactly.
Make an example of him.
Yeah. Or this kid Michael, he was like this little German kid.
Ooh.
and he looked like fucking Hitler.
Oh yeah.
And he was obsessed with tanks. Like he was one of those kids
no.
where his like 5th grade like grand presentation
This
was
is a
like
bad combination of
Dude,
things.
it was hilarious. It was like his 5th grade graduation project was like, we are going to talk about all the tanks in
Yeah.
World War II.
Yeah.
Mainly the Axis powers.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck's sakes. And then there was a kid. There's another.
do for your birthday? I want to go to Dusseldorf.
Yeah.
And
I had to avenge Dresden.
Yeah.
No, and then there was like he was in our friend group. We had another kid in our friend group that was like his dad was in the Navy, and so he was the American tank expert.
Oh,
and so they would do like dueling projects, and I don't know why they were having us do like history fucking presentations.
it's kind of a
all
cool
year.
side beef. To
It was
be
kind
fair.
of it was
I kind of
great.
like that.
I didn't learn anything about tanks. I just learned about fucking these kids hating each other,
Yeah.
even though they were like kind of friends. You know,
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I also was because I skateboarded growing up.
Yeah.
I would just like be bleeding like in class. You know the kids
You
that
just
would
have
be,
open wounds?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd pick wounds too.
That's disgusting.
I'd be
I don't
fine.
like any
I'd
of
be
that.
fine. And I'd be in the middle of the class and I'd have like a giant scab on my like knee and I'd be like, oh, just pick it off.
That's,
And then they would just be like
What?
gushing blood. They'd be like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fucking fine.
were you the kid that ate batteries?
No, I didn't actually ever eat weird things.
Yeah.
That was never my thing.
Yeah.
But I like to like jump off of high things and like
Right.
do like.
What's with tall kids and doing that?
I don't know.
My friend would jump off, you know, the high school bleachers that are like super tall when they're
Yeah.
all folded up. He could, I mean, there's probably like 8 foot tall. He
Yeah,
would
yeah.
jump off.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, aren't your ankles like destroyed?
Pretty sure the highest thing I ever ollied off as a kid was around there, maybe like 7 feet.
God damn.
Yeah,
That's insane.
Back at Alameda Skate Park, there's this one. It's called a Twinkie, which is basically a big spine transfer, but there's a flat part. You
Yeah.
can do like a running start and go down. I
Yeah.
went off the back of the running start, which is just a giant drop.
Wow.
Just ollied over it.
Yeah. I had a good friend, he listens to the podcast actually. He cracked his head open.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did, you know, I think,
Not skating though.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, it was wrestling with my brother. And instead of him, he didn't do anything. It was
Yeah.
all me. So I was like, we were roughhousing, and he was just not in the mood.
Yeah.
It was more like me, like being like and like trying to like mess with him,
Yeah,
and he was like,
antagonize.
no. And so I jumped at him, just in the middle of the living room, off the sofa, just head first, and I was like, and what he did was he said, and he just sidestepped me.
Yeah.
And so I'm flying full momentum
Yeah.
right into the corner of a table.
Oh.
My dad kept the table for a while, but it was just like coated in blood.
Oh my
It was like in
God.
the side yard because he never threw it
Was
away.
that a hospital trip?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
I got like 15 stitches.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a real, you know, the most I've had is
You could-
12 staples.
You could see my skull.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
doctors were like, what's that purple thing? They're like, oh, that's his skull.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it was forehead, so it was really well protected. It was just
Yeah.
a gaping wound on my face.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Wow. I hadn't even heard that story prior to this. That's a
I'm pretty sure
pretty
I told
gnarly
it,
one.
but
I definitely, so you know that like sort of meme where it's like your younger sibling is like crying and you're like, no,
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
shh, don't. It's
gonna be okay.
It's
Don't
gonna
wake
be
up, Mom.
Yeah, yeah. Like dad's gonna. Dude, I literally had like, I think my sister was playing it up because I didn't like bully her or anything. Like we were fairly cordial.
Yeah.
Like she was more the antagonist. One day though, we're playing and I think I might have like slapped her across the face or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like just, you know, like kids are uncoordinated and they just do it.
yeah.
And she was on the ground crying like a little baby. And I'm like, stop, shut up. Stop. It's okay. I'll do anything. I was bargaining. I was like pleading, like, I'll get you this, I'll give you that, you know?
Yeah.
And like, she always liked whatever toys I had. She was a bit of a tomboy.
Yeah.
And my dad fucking, hey,
Yeah.
what the fuck? From
Yep.
downstairs. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I never did, you know, it never happened again, but it's a universal.
This is kind of related, except I didn't have the fear of the parents. It was more like the fear of being found out. But I was once again at that same elementary school park, and
Yeah.
it was you know, it was the middle of summer. We were just kids out about, and I was talking to my friend Nick, and I was like, "Yo, check this out." Because I had like a loose, my shoe was loose enough where if on command I could point and kick,
Yeah.
and the shoe would go flying in that direction.
Yeah.
There was this kid on a bike. Here's the problem. I wasn't anticipating a perfect bullseye, like square in the face.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure it hit like his eye, bridge, nose combo.
Right.
And I was just like, ugh. Luckily, he didn't like fly off the bike or anything. He just kind of
Yeah.
stopped and immediately started crying. I was like, no. And I think we just kind of like left.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a very similar one where I worked at Winco as a produce guy, and in the back rooms it's like a big refrigerator, and it makes things like extra hard when it's cold, right?
Sure.
Like limes will fall out of the
Oh yeah,
crate.
those are fucking rocks.
And one day, and we would like throw apples at each other. We'd like throw rotten fruit at each other.
fun.
We're just having fun in the back
some
room.
good old boys
And
on
one day, my friend was at the opposite end of the cooler. I mean, it's like a 100-foot,
Yeah.
whatever. And I spiked with my foot
no.
a lime straight into his balls.
Wait, so you kicked the lime?
I kicked the lime as hard as I could, and I don't know, a mix of the temperature and just the velocity of the thing. Yeah. He doubled over and was like crying.
You used a level 1 frostbolt. I mean,
it might have been a level 2.
Piercing ice magic.
Dude, he doubled over and started crying. And this is like a 22-year-old man, you know, like he's.
Yeah.
And I ran up and I was like, I am so sorry. And he's just beside himself, like about to throw up from the pain.
Oh
man,
like, that's guilt right there.
Fuck! Like I had no intention. I thought I'd go to the left a little bit and maybe.
I'm lucky. I haven't physically hurt anyone in any recent memory, years like that on accident or even on purpose, really.
Yeah, that was a big oh fuck! I screwed up.
Whoops.
Yeah. And I wasn't.
You can't be like, I didn't mean to, because you aimed a ice. Yeah.
Surely he
But
probably,
you just didn't want it to be that bad.
Yeah. I had no intention of hitting him in the balls with a lime.
No, yeah. You don't hit another man in the balls with a frozen lime. That should be 11th commandment.
Yeah, exactly.
And on this day forward,
there
was no frozen limes in the testicles.
There was a couple of times I got hurt badly there. Like I cut my leg open with a razor blade one time. Had to go to the doctor.
That's what you do when you work in any place that sell like retail or warehouses or you're just gonna cut it yourself with a box cutter or a box. You're gonna fall off a ladder. You're going to be using the rolling racks from the truck, and it's going to run over your toe, and it's going to rip your toenail off.
There should be like a mandatory 6-hour workday for people working in that environment, because it's always when I'm like tired as fuck. Like I had a very manual labor job, and one day I was up on a pallet. There's like a bunch of bananas, and then a pallet on top of the bananas, and I was on top of the pallet trying to get something else up higher on the shelves.
Of course,
and I fell off. And I hit my nose on the pallet, like on the side of the pallet, like just full on, like a 4-foot drop onto my face. Oof. And I was like, "Can I get the video?" Like I was okay.
You watched the CCTV of it?
No, they wouldn't let it. They wouldn't let me see it. They're like, "Oh, it's too many resources to pull it up." I'm like, "We pull up fucking people stealing meat every day."
Like there, because I guarantee you,
it was awful, to be honest.
I still work security right now, and it's like anytime anything happens, we want to pull up the footage immediately.
No, so I wasn't injured and to the point of having to get a doctor's note or anything. I could still keep working.
Yeah.
So they were like, who cares? But we had 2 undercover guys they were big Russian dudes.
In plain clothes?
Yeah. And they would tackle people. A couple times. This guy would come in and he'd try to steal
you guys had pretty hands-on security because that's not commonplace these days.
No.
Most things nowadays is you let people take it, but you get footage of them doing it, and then you call the police if you see them again.
No, I saw my store manager tackle somebody. He was kind of a bigger guy, and I think one of the security guards had found the shoplifter right after the check stands.
Yeah,
he tackles the shoplifter. All of a sudden, my store manager comes downstairs from his office
with a bag of frozen limes,
and he kills the guy. No, but he is on top of this dude, and I'm looking around the corner of an aisle, the fuck is going on over there? It's not his job. We have private security for a reason.
Yeah,
and we actually had somebody get fired because they went out to the parking lot and tackled a guy. Once you're off the premises, a parking lot is not our property or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he knew better too.
Yeah.
He was not security. He was a fucking I don't know, self checkout.
Even security, like I mean, I don't know. It's different for each place, but Securitas, their whole thing is like no contact unless
Yeah.
you are in self-defense or even fear for your life. Like,
Yeah.
it's very much like don't touch anyone.
Yeah, this was kind of a weird, like, there's a force field at the end of the store, and if they get out that second double doors, they're free.
gone. Yeah.
They're free. It's fine.
But you
Do
also
not-
can't block them from the first set or the second set.
Oh, well, in this case, they were like, who cares? As long as
Wow.
they're
So you
in
can-
the store,
okay, yeah.
they're in the Thunderdome. Okay, I got you for 3 minutes. You know?
Oh man, who wants to, I think that's the thing, is just a lot of people are, it's the whole I wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah. Well, it was also just during a time of like, it was pre-COVID, so I think there was like a protocol of like, if someone's stealing, get them.
Yeah.
You know, now it's kind of like, oh, fuck it, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
it's baked into the insurance and all that. But yeah, it was a rough time, and it was a rough like
People
part of town. So.
are discouraged from intervening physically nowadays
Yeah.
because I mean, you don't want to get shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe they'll come back with a gun or something, or
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of people will try to jump you. Like, yeah.
Yeah. We had someone die in our store.
Oh, that's cool. Did
Yeah.
he fall off a banana rack?
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
It was like he was probably like 85 to 90 years old, and he just fucking collapsed,
Oh, okay.
like in the produce aisle.
Yeah, so it's not like anything happened. He just died.
Yeah, he literally just died.
Yeah.
Like had a heart attack and was gone. And then
It's kind of cool.
probably like 6 months after I got hired, so like this guy died before I was hired.
Yeah.
6 months after I was hired, this dude collapsed in the meat section and blood everywhere. He like hit his head on like the fucking end cap, you know?
Yep.
And he was also old. Don't know what happened to him, but I assume he was
Wasn't good.
yeah, I assume he's not with us any longer.
So when you told me about that incident with you falling on your nose, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
security, we want to pull up that shit immediately. Did I tell you about so because it's a big campus that I work at, we have forklifts.
Yeah.
And they drive pallets of shit, furniture, etc. And there's a street that divides the two sides of the property, and so you have to cross the public road with a forklift.
Yeah.
From time to time.
Yeah.
And normally this guy waits at the driveway with his the forks are nowhere near the road.
Yeah.
And then he waits for the light to turn green and he crosses.
Yeah.
This time he had the extenders on
Oh no.
and he didn't really think about the clearance. Mm-hmm. And along comes this girl, and I mean, she's like just a 30-year-old, little heavier set, shorts, like short shorts.
Yeah.
And like Birkenstocks,
Oh, no.
exposed feet and legs.
Oh no.
And she collides with those forks at like 30 miles an hour.
Oh no.
And she flipped and landed like at head, neck, and shoulders first. And she was taken away in an ambulance.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure.
Fuck.
And it was just like that guy, that forklift driver still works there.
Still. Jesus
Some
Christ.
fucking how.
Wow. That's
And she was like, I'm suing all y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, good.
Yeah.
Because that was a fuck up of she was like not even
gored.
She wasn't even on the sidewalk. She was like well in the bike lane.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I had a lady that it was like kind of one of these people at Winco that like mostly a forklift operator, kind of receiving,
Yeah, he or she is trying to not be in the store as
Yeah,
much
yeah.
as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to smoke cigarettes and like, yeah. I gotcha.
Precisely.
Yeah.
This lady, older, and every once in a while would kind of like bump something with the forklift. She wasn't always accurate like
Fully
the rest
there,
of us
per se.
were, right?
Yeah.
And one day she hit the Pepsi vendor.
The guy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like hit the dude like backing up or something. Not with the forks, but with the machine.
Either way.
Knocks him over,
Super
knocks his like
dangerous.
cart over or whatever.
Yeah.
And nothing comes of it. Not a fucking word. I was like, not even a drug test? They're like, yeah, we probably had to fire her.
Well,
if we did a drug
Carol,
test."
she's just a,
Yeah. So
she's
I guess.
an old codger.
So I had quit the job, but I was still in contact with a bunch of people who work there. I guess like 2 weeks after I quit, this lady fucking hit somebody and was like immediate, like, you're done, you're out.
Yeah.
Please leave the premises.
Of course.
You know,
Because it's too much of a
it's
liability.
like, how do you hit people all the time?
Yeah.
like constantly.
Yeah.
Like it's just one person.
I think that was actually a good way to handle it. I mean, there should have been a conversation, and she should have been written up. Maybe
Yeah.
she was behind the scenes, but yeah, you don't just get away with actually hitting people twice.
Yeah.
It's not a 3 strikes rule; it's a 2 strikes rule.
Yeah. I think there should have been more drug tests there, like at a grocery store, because there were like pill heads. There were like people like,
Yeah, but grocery stores are filled with rejects.
yeah. I mean, I was there at a certain,
I
like,
wouldn't
a
call
certain
you
time
a
of my
reject.
life.
I would say you were
know?
like whatever the tier above that is, and you were pushing that tier too. You were
Yeah.
on your way out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I definitely needed the job and was like, I don't care. I just need money.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I'll
it's a
be
place you start, when you're like 16, 18.
Yeah,
And you're
this
just
is
like
right out
moving
of-
carts.
It was right out of college. Yeah.
And
It was-
then, if you actually stick with it and, you become like the manager of the meat department or something, good on you. I mean,
Yeah, I
you're
became-
probably making more money than I am now. So.
well, I was the produce manager and I was making like, I don't know, $5 more than everybody else or whatever.
There you go.
It was great, but also the work fucking sucks,
falling onto a pallet on your nose.
That was my fault. That was my fault. There was definitely
You were
some-
cutting corners.
Yeah, dude, we cut so many corners. I mean, people would be like, "Do you cut the fruit?" No, we don't. We don't do anything.
Do you cut the fruit?
Do you cut the?
Be
Do you
like,
cut
I'd
the?
be like, no, you buy it and then you cut it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you- well, so the broccoli is always really big. Yeah, we don't do anything to it. We open the box and you grab it from the box. Like,
Who the fuck wants smaller broccoli?
I don't know.
You get the big ass
because
head.
the big old head of it. Yeah, and I don't know, man. People are so fucking picky and.
Is that like some really weird way of trying to save money where you're like, I just want
Yeah,
a few
no.
little pieces of broccoli?
Dude, people, there'd be this like old
Fucking
Russian
Christ.
lady that would like take all the radishes, and you know how there's like leaves on the radishes.
Yeah.
she would like take all the leaves off individually.
No,
to, like,
that'll save
weight.
you a tenth of a milligram or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
like
and-
there's not even there's no weight to that.
No,
it's like it's
or, like-
weightless.
Yeah, there's just a whole lot of things at a grocery store that people do that are fucking
Yeah.
stupid. I mean, if you haven't worked at one, like you
I
don't
worked at
know.
one briefly in a deli
Yeah.
as the dishwasher. So I got all the benefits of working in a restaurant where you just get a
Yeah.
bunch of free fucking food.
Nice.
But then I got all of the shitty stuff
Oh.
of working in a restaurant,
wait.
which was being a dishwasher.
Right. Were people banging back there, like in the back room of the deli? Because that apparently the deli was a place in my store. I mean, I never partook in that, but
To be honest, nah. I mean, like,
the parking lot.
there was
kind of
one time
best place.
where I went completely not sexual. I went
Yeah.
into the back, like the stock room, and there was this new hire, and he was an older guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was one of those guys that always wore the like curved brim hats.
Mm.
And I went back there, and he was just,
Cranking?
sweating so hard, and his eyes were so focused. He was clearly tweaking out of his mind
no.
and trying to calm down.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm going to go back to washing dishes because I
Yeah,
don't want to be in
see
here
ya.
anymore." I
Yeah.
was trying to make conversation, but you are not safe.
I'm not like a person that like gets high before work or anything, but
I used to be, but
there was a couple times at that job where I'd like take Benadryl because I had really bad allergies, and like one day I took like 4 Benadryl before work. I
Yeah.
just like didn't realize I worked that day, and I showed up and I'm like, I guess I'm just high now. I guess I'm
Yeah.
just going to be. I'm gonna try to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And like it ended up being an okay day,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
was like, fuck, I really screwed up here.
the amount
I
of
don't wanna
people
be-
that go to work high as shit
Yeah.
and then take lunch and get high as shit,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. I never.
I mean, if you're working a
understood it
job like
personally.
that, you might as well.
Yeah.
Like,
When
if you
I-
don't have to do any kind of like critical thought,
Yeah.
and you like could bike to work,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Yeah,
You
when
know?
I worked at a pizza place, I probably blazed up almost
Oh
every
yeah,
day.
if I worked at a pizza place again, I'd probably just drink on the job.
Yeah, yeah. People would since our Little Caesars was next to a bar, people would get off work, go to the bar, and then come back and be like, "Bro, I want some fucking pizza. I
Yeah.
work today. I get a
Exactly.
free one." I was like,
Starting off my shift right.
"All right." Yeah,
Beer to the dome.
yeah. That was a fun one. I would never work in food again.
I would, but it would be probably bartending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I guess maybe cooking, depending on what type of place it is. Maybe I'd go back into cooking, but
Be like a line cook at a, Applebee's.
no. It would be not fine dining, because fuck that.
Yeah.
It would be like, maybe somewhere by the waterfront here, where
Yeah.
it's like you have restaurants that, $30 entrees.
Right.
People are going there prepared to spend money, so they'll leave good tips. And if
Yeah.
they share tips, that's good. I wouldn't want to work at a place where it was unshared tips.
Yeah.
Because it's just a bunch of like cute 20-something-year-old girls that make like $200 a night.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, well, why
Right.
am I even, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a weird question. I've never asked this before. Do people in fine dining restaurants is their base pay better than like a server at Applebee's? Or
Yes.
are they making so many more in tips that like they can eat there?
No, the base pay is higher.
Okay.
It
Got
requires,
it.
so like to be, say, an executive chef at a fine dining restaurant. you
No.
have to have
I'm
quite the
saying
resume.
like the waiter at a fine dining restaurant. Are they making it up in tips?
Probably a little higher, but probably not much more higher. It's probably more tips, probably
Okay.
more tip economy.
Okay.
Because when it comes to like cooks generally make a higher salary, and
Yeah.
servers generally don't make shit regardless.
Huh. Okay.
But they make good tips. So
Right.
if you're working in a fine dining restaurant, yeah.
Okay, got it. So I was just unfamiliar. I've read like Anthony Bourdain's books, and he's like, the pay for chefs is like all over the place.
Yeah,
like
it
you could be
totally
working
is.
at a 5-star restaurant, and it's like you're still making $30,000 a year in New York. Like
Well,
it's-
exactly. Well, it's also regional too, because if you're in like France and you work in a fine dining restaurant, you probably have a really high salary.
yeah, you would
Whereas
hope.
if it's fucking Michelin star or whatever.
Yeah. How do you feel about chef culture, where it comes to like it's like the military? Like they take it so fucking seriously.
It's gay. Yes, chef.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking like ridiculous.
No,
how
it's,
angry and like militaristic it is.
like the show The Bear.
you're
Yeah.
cooking food. Okay.
I need a fucking caprese salad.
Yeah.
On table
The lamb sauce.
The fucking lamb is raw.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't. God, just literally do anything else.
literally.
Go be a
Yeah.
finance bro or
If
something.
you can't
you're, like-
find a way to be efficient and at the same time respectful, leave your job.
Yeah. I just it baffles me that
Yeah.
there's like this whole subculture of like cooking and good restaurants where it's like, yeah, no, we run this like the Navy. It's
Yeah.
like,
I'm
what?
sorry, but I'm not going to say yes, chef.
Yeah.
Like I'm if I really respected you, maybe, but if we're selling turkey clubs,
Yeah. Right. Like I
not
just
getting that denomination.
don't understand that. I can't wait. Like if someone who's a chef hears this and they're like, oh my fucking god, I
You're so uncultured.
can't- yeah. Like
Yeah.
I've read all the books. I've watched all the TV shows. It doesn't make sense.
Now I think it's
It's
also
the only occupation in our whole culture
Yeah.
that does that.
Yeah.
That isn't the military. Or
No, for
like
sure.
I don't know. People on Alaskan fishing boats aren't,
no, because they're fearful for their
treating each other
lives.
like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's actual stakes.
Yeah.
Not steaks on the fucking Barbie.
There you go.
You know?
There you go. It's tasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think deep sea fisherman has got to be one of the most metal fucking jobs you could possibly have.
Yeah.
Because the ocean scares me regardless. So the second that it's like my job to be out in those dark waters catching fish, fuck
Yeah.
that.
Well, apparently in the Deadliest Catch TV show, Mike Rowe was
What
supposed
about the deadliest snatch? And it's just micro.
He's like,
He's got.
I'm going undercover as a gynecologist.
This is going to be a dirty job.
Apparently, so instead of being a narrator, they were going to make him like the host, like on the boats.
I
And
heard
then-
about this. He did like one season or something.
Oh no! So like, I guess the first season, like a bunch of people died.
And so they were
And
like,
you're
you just do the voiceover.
Yeah. We don't need like a guy there. We don't need a host.
Yeah.
Like we just film these dudes doing, crab fishing.
That guy seems like he would crush with MILFs. Like
That's
kind of
all
a
he does.
Kind of a deep voice.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I also worked a lot of jobs.
you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, and they'd be like, ah.
Well, it's like Sam Elliott, where he's like doing the Dodge Ram 1500.
Right.
Like and like my grandma is
Yeah.
obsessed with him.
Yeah. No, there's something about
He's got a mustache.
yeah.
Yeah. So does
He has a deep voice.
yeah. I
Deep
don't get it.
voices and sort of burying your nose in work and not really talking a lot is a very like sought after archetype, I think.
Yeah.
They're like, great, he just brings money and
You
very strong.
You can be swarthy. You could be a Burt Reynolds type.
Right.
You know? And he hit a lot of women.
Yeah.
And somehow my grandma
I don't know.
was sad about that.
I don't know what women want. I mean, on the same token, women also like dudes like Russell Brand.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are we doing here?
That's
Hello,
the other
love, I
end.
talk like this, and I fucking
Hate British people.
Yeah, British people suck.
Yeah.
Their
No,
food
he's
sucks.
insufferable.
Their culture sucks. Their government sucks.
It seems like, you know how they do fish and chips, you know?
Yeah, which is the one thing they have, which is also, by the way, not even from England.
Well,
None of their cuisine is from England.
Why aren't their fries better? Why don't they pick better fries?
Yeah,
Like,
well-
is it just to absorb gravy?
So here's the thing: the UK in general, not just England, they like their fries soggy and coated in vinegar.
it's disgusting.
And it's like, bro, just fry it twice. Maybe cut it a little thinner.
Like you
don't
know,
cover it in vinegar.
You know they're wrong because it would have caught on here.
Yeah.
Like it would be a thing here.
Yeah.
Like we steal poutine from Canada.
Totally.
Because we figured out like
Yeah.
that was a pretty good idea.
Yep.
You know? Like
Here's. Let me throw this at you.
yeah.
This probably isn't American, but it could be American.
Right.
Are Cajun fries?
Cajun fries are amazing. They're all over here. It's weird.
But are they American though?
Yeah.
You would think it is because Cajun, right?
yeah.
But then technically, even then, Cajun are just French people that moved to fucking New Orleans. So does that?
Yeah,
count?
but it's like 400 years ago. Let's just let them
Right.
have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
You know, like anytime someone's like, "What's the best American food?" Cajun food, probably the best.
Cajun
honestly.
food's great.
Just
soul
like-
food at
Yeah.
large is great.
Yeah.
I mean, like
You're gonna mix Southern food with like
Yeah.
French cooking. I mean,
ribs,
you can't really go.
gravy, sweet potato.
Yeah, I don't
It's all
agree
good
with the
stuff.
grits or collard greens though. I don't
I'd
get it.
much rather do grits than collard greens. Collard
Yeah.
greens are just kind of like leathery scraps that have been soaked in like vegetable water.
Yeah, that's exactly what they taste like.
Yeah.
I went to a
Grits
southern
though,
place.
covered in cheese, maybe some scrimp in there.
some scrimp,
scrimp.
Some scrimp. Yeah,
Some
man.
scrimp.
Yeah. I really enjoyed like in Tennessee. There's nothing but good food.
No.
I don't think they get enough credit. You know, like it's not good for you, but like it's some of the best food I've had for sure.
That makes sense.
You know?
yeah. I want to go to the South because I haven't spent any time there.
Yeah, I do think, and this is going to be controversial.
Hmm.
I think Texas barbecue's overrated.
I don't think that's
It was
controversial at
just
all.
okay.
I don't think that's controversial
just
at
okay.
all. I think
Yeah.
the thing is baseline, it's a good food, but it's blown out of proportion.
Yeah, and like
And they're always like, you got to go to the one where it's like, it's just a shack.
yeah,
And it's only wood pellets. And you're like, okay.
All right. There's only so many ways you can cook a piece of beef. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to be better unless you season it better, which they don't really do. Like
Fair
I went to Black's, which is like apparently the best in the world, right?
I've heard of Black's. Yeah.
It was just okay.
Yeah.
It was like if it was here in Vancouver, Washington, I probably would never go there.
What'd you get?
I got like the standard, like the plate where,
Where
it's
it's like brisket, sausage.
Yeah, like kind of the works.
Yeah.
You know,
I like burn
mac.
ends. Burn ends are my thing.
Yeah, yeah. I went there, I think, twice actually when we were there because I really wanted to get like the breadth of barbecue, and
Yeah.
I was sick of it after 5 days.
Totally
You know?
fair.
Like-
Totally fair.
It just
I think
wasn't.
the best kind of barbecue is actually the simplest barbecue where it's like you don't have to do all that crazy elaborate like smoked shit. Just give me like a couple brats,
Yeah,
a couple burgers,
yeah,
condiments and beer on the side. I'm happy.
yeah. I think you'd be okay with a cookout. You're not a barbecue.
I'm more of a you
guy.
hit
You're a
it.
cookout
You
guy.
hit it, bro. Yeah.
You know,
I'll
like-
bring the mac salad and whatever, the lemonade.
Dude, a good pasta salad's better than fucking Texas barbecue.
Really? Because a lot of people don't like pasta salad.
My fiance makes a fucking mean potato or pasta salad. Any of those
I
variations
think
are
that's why I like Hawaiian food so much, is because it's just giant scoop of meat,
Hawaiian food.
rice, and then mac salad.
Yeah, Hawaiian food punches way above when it
Yeah.
comes to
Yeah.
American cuisine.
Are you doing like spicy pork, chicken? What are you doing when
I
it's your
typically
Hawaiian
go for
plate?
pork.
Yeah,
I think
typically go
pork
too.
with like a sauce on it with rice is just like the perfect like candy.
Yeah,
you know.
And then
It's
by
great.
the counter, they have the sriracha, the soy sauce, and the mayo. And
Yeah.
so you just
Yep.
right over the rice. Boom.
Yeah, Portland has some of the best Hawaiian food I've ever had. There's two places in particular. I can't even. I have no idea how to say the names of them. They're they're just great. They're just fantastic. You know.
There was this one food cart I used to go to. I may have went with you like once or twice. It was when I
Yeah.
used to stay at my dad's house. It was run by like this cute little Japanese family.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that's also great about Hawaiian food is a lot of the times it's just Japanese food.
Yeah.
You know what
like
I mean?
teriyaki.
Exactly.
With mac
You're
and
like,
cheese.
okay, fuck
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Kind of a cool overlap there.
Like a little katsu in there.
But you know, before inflation, it was like, dude, $5 for a
Yeah.
lunch deal, 6
Yeah.
with a soda. Now it's probably like $14.
Yeah. I used to, during COVID, it might be the same place. It's called McGualex. And it was
I couldn't tell you the
a
name.
Portland Hawaiian food cart. And it was just bussin'.
Yeah, these were the
As the
ones that
kids
were.
say.
What's that shitty park where it's like near Powell's? It's like a small square. It's not even a park.
Oh, yeah. It's literally a median. And they call it the world's smallest park or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I can't remember.
It was
name
by
of
there. It was like
Yeah.
10th
Yeah,
Taylor
yeah.
or something like that.
Right.
By the Target, like right next to the Target.
Yeah. I can't. Mills End Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds right.
It's fucking-
Is that Target still open or did they have too much theft? and
I'm pretty
closed
sure
down?
they closed it.
Like
because
everything
the
else?
Tweakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would.
What'd they expect?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would that was my max station if I would I'd take public transit when I lived downtown and that was the closest one to my house and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm in front of the Target with all the fucking meth heads.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Fenty
Some
time.
good times.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Portland is it's not as bad as people make it where they're like, what happened to my city? It's like it's exactly the same.
Yeah, it's not much different from
It's
when
just
I was
maybe you pay attention to the crime a bit more.
Yeah, I
And
think
maybe there is a bit more, but it's pretty much the exact fucking same.
yeah, stay out of the bad neighborhoods. That's all I
Yeah.
got to say.
Yeah.
Go to the South Waterfront.
Go to the South Waterfront. Take
You know?
take a dump in your pants.
Under a bridge.
That's what I call the old spaghetti. Mom spaghetti.
I'm unimpressed by Old Spaghetti Factory for the most part.
You're not supposed to be impressed with it. You go there with a table of 12 and you get a chicken feta and garlic bread and everybody wins.
I don't know. Me and my fiance go, and it's good, but it's not like
You get to sit in a trolley because they have a big wooden trolley.
I don't know if
in
I've
the
ever
middle
sat
of
in the
road.
trolley.
You've
I
never
can't
sat in the
remember.
trolley?
no.
Oh man, we'll get you a little bowl
For those
of
that don't
spumoni. You'll
know-
have a big smile on your face.
For those that don't know, there's a literal trolley car
Yeah.
in this restaurant, and I guess it's special to be seated in
It's
that.
kind of
It's kind of cramped.
it's a
looking.
gimmick, but it's kind of fun at the same time.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I never requested the trolley.
Can I sit in the trolley, please?
Can I get the caboose?
Yeah.
I want to sit in the back and I want to see everybody.
Well, the best seating, hands down, in that place is just by the window. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no way around that. If you can get by the window, you're on the water. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, I go to the one in Vancouver. The only view I get is other, patrons.
Where's the
of
one in
restaurant.
Vancouver?
It's on the east side.
Okay. yeah.
Well-
why is every restaurant is on the east side? Where is it? Oh, east side.
Yeah, yeah, it's on fucking Fourth Plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, speaking of barbecue in Vancouver, there's one called like the Smoke and Oak, I believe.
Yeah,
Good, but overpriced as shit. I mean, it's. I think barbecue is just overrated in general.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think
It's good, but my God, is it overrated?
I particularly hate the mess of ribs. You know,
I don't mind it.
I've got like a sensory thing when it comes to my fingers being just
Yeah.
coated in sauce.
Are you the type of guy that eats a little, wipes with a napkin, eats a little, wipes with a napkin, or you just finish that shit and then wipe?
I'll finish a whole bone
Yeah.
and then wipe. But yeah, I'm kind of just not having a good time.
It's kind of a company thing because if I'm with like Kate or my family, I'm just gonna go to town and we'll talk later.
yeah.
If I'm with it's someone I don't talk to a lot or it's like a formal thing, then
yeah.
that just sounds awful.
I don't know if I've ever eaten barbecue alone. You know, like
That's so sad.
like when it comes to well,
I'll
like,
have the brisket.
no,
platter.
but like when it comes to like being a single man, I go for a burger or some chicken strip,
Yeah.
or I don't know, just anything,
or
but
even
barbecue.
but barbecue. Barbecue, that's got to be a shared meal.
Yeah, it's a social.
That's a
thing,
social
for
thing.
sure.
If I saw someone, like I worked at a barbecue place and I saw someone just eating there by themselves, like reading a book or something, I'd be like, "This is like, are you
Hey,
gonna kill
man.
someone?
Hey, man, get up and leave.
Hey,
Get out of here.
here's a to-go box."
Yeah. Like, do you work here? No.
fuck
Get
outta
the
here.
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, do you
loser.
work here? No, I was just walking by and I hate what you're doing.
Yeah. You're just slamming that rack right now by yourself? Okay.
Yeah, he's
All
like,
right.
I like the ambiance. Well, your taste sucks.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like eating outside most of the time.
I don't like the hot temperature in general.
Yeah.
So the idea of eating like spiced meats while sweating outside.
Yeah.
It's not good.
This is going to be a weird one. Was your family the type of family that ate and celebrated things at public parks?
No.
Because that's how I know I'm middle class.
Yeah.
I never had a family reunion at a public park. There's always at
I
someone's
did
house.
like mini picnics. Like with my dad, we used to go to the beach with sandwiches and chips, and it was fucking
Yeah,
dank.
so that doesn't count. I'm talking like a grassy public park with those fucking gazebos and like the big picnic
Yeah.
tables in the middle.
No, and you set up like those shitty streamers with like the somewhat
Jesus
see-through
Christ.
paper and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
balloons and the cake from Safeway. No,
Yeah, yeah.
no. But I've attended a couple of things
Yeah,
like that, but
for
I've
sure.
I've never. No, we never did that.
Yeah, yeah. Mine were always like, if we were gonna have a family reunion, which ended once my parents got divorced.
Yeah.
it was like someone's house, you know.
Yeah,
just in
just
the
do it at
backyard.
someone's house.
Yeah, there was
You
no
can
need
do
to-
it at someone's house.
Yeah.
Why bring it to the park? The only reason
Yeah.
you bring it to the park, like there's a level of presumption there that your house isn't good enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That
Yeah.
or you don't want people there.
True.
Which either way, not good.
yeah. That does make
The
sense.
tracks. All right. Well, we should probably wrap
probably
this
wrap
one up.
right
We're
there.
just under an hour.
Yeah.
Talked about some good things, including public parks, shitting in your pants, and I
Breaking
guess shitting in the
controllers.
urinal. And
Yeah.
The trolley.
We pooped all over.
We
I
pooped. Yeah.
didn't poop in a trolley.
Well, no, but I mean, sitting in a trolley.
Wait, what if I did though? That'd be sick.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you just kind of have to sit there and wait for the please step
No.
through the door.
I'm talking about
Ding,
like
and then you can
I
walk
like make a
through.
reservation. I get there 5.
Oh, I thought you
15
meant okay.
on the money.
Yeah.
And I
One finest caboose seat,
yep,
please.
and then I just leave when the business is done.
Yeah, and you're like, here's a nice generous tip, and they're like, thanks.
Right.
Anyways, I gotta go, and you duck waddle out of there. And they're like, what?
You run full speed past like a 14-person party.
You slip on a little bit of poop, come on, you fall, and you're like, oh no,
It fell right out of my caboose.
my plans have been foiled by my
Yeah.
excrement.
What the fuck? Yep. And that's it. That's it, folks.
Perfect.
Ba-dee, ba-dee, ba-dee.